So I started off my 4th of July weekend immediately after leaving work on Saturday. Second I got off, the first thing I did, drive to GameStop, picked up the Crash The N'sane Trilogy. I had to do it. I had to fucking do it. And I was like, okay, yeah, alright. I already know this game like the back of my fucking hand. I'll have this shit done 6 hours, whole thing. Max. Probably it's about 10, maybe 12. Because I've never played, sue me, I never played the completion Crash 1. I played the demo. I hated Crash 1. I still hate Crash 1. But, not the point. Went home, cracked the shit open, opened a beer. Speaking of which, let me just do myself a favor really quick. There it is. No, I don't drink Coors consistently, but it's what's in the fridge, so fuck it. But, yeah. I sat my buddy down. I was like, hey, man, it's our childhood. Let's fucking go. I did not remember Crash Bandicoot being this hard. And then I thought, maybe I was crazy. I didn't go Googling it like I do most things when I'm like, this can't be right. Like when I played Nier Automata, oh my god, does everybody think the soundtrack is legendary? Because it fucking is. And, of course, it was all over the internet. Nier Automata soundtrack, legendary. I was like, okay, cool. At least the internet's in agreement. I went on Twitter just to go on Twitter. I saw a tweet from the completionist or something, and I was like, ooh, what else is going on? And, trending. 1,500 fucking people just tweeting it up, fucking hashtag Crash is hard. And I guess that's the thing now. This game is ridiculously difficult, and I'm convinced that it's not a matter of the fact that the game's actually as hard as, it was back in the day. Because back in the day, I've played this very recently. I emulated it, to be fair. But even then, I played it on a controller, plugged my PS4 controller into my computer, because it's not that hard, and gave it a go. After doing this and playing through all of Crash 3, blazing through it, because it was simple, I was like, alright, well, can't wait to play it remastered. It's going to look great. It'll bring me back. It's going to be fun. One, I got this really big just need to play Crash Team Racing, right now. And two, this game's fucking hard. As I said before, I'm convinced that it's like the jump mechanics are just slightly off, and some of the physics are also slightly off. Because some of the stuff was just mind-blowing. I'll get more into that later. But, oh my god. Let's just jump into this fucking review. Crash Bandicoot has been with me in some way most of my life. Until I grew up, saw what happened when other companies and what they were doing, and I immediately wanted out. I'm looking at you, Crash Twinsanity, Crash of the Titans, weird Crash purple game. But whatever. Back to real Crash. I still have my memory card that reads Crash 2 on it. My dad thought that you could only save one thing on it at a time, so since it was the only game I had at the time for PlayStation 1, it became the Crash 2 memory card. Best memory card, by the way. I had those games down to a science. Crash 2 and eventually Crash 3 became my bitch. All the death routes, relics, up to platinum, gems, crystals, secret levels, I found them. Not because I could Google that shit, or more to the era. Ask Jeeves or supercheats.com. Good God, that was terrible. No, because I was young and dumb and had nothing else to do but to try everything. So I did. The alien sign on the motorcycle level's my second favorite, while the first is the Stairway of Nitros, because I was stupid enough to try it. I killed these games like Kobe killed the Rim. And I could always go back and demolish them whenever I wanted. Not anymore, but I'll get into that. Crash Bandicoot The N'sane Trilogy is beautiful, sounds good, and makes you want to be a kid again for the first few minutes. Then the game transitions into Dark Souls levels of difficulty and laughs in your face for your sad sack attempts at getting good. I'm not going to cry about that quite yet. There's still lots of good to be had. Like the remake, it's done a lot. You can play as Coco now in all the levels, and I thought that was pretty cool. The music's been redone to accommodate ears of the fans who want to hear it done by actual instruments, which is nice, especially for someone like me. All I ever do is sit around and listen to soundtracks from anime and video games. So it's nice to not hear MIDIs and stuff like that. It sounded good. And everything else got a new coat of paint. So, I mean, it was pretty. Really pretty. But, to all the credit I give to these things, I gotta hit them on those things as well. Coco looks weird, so I didn't use her. The music's been redone, but it doesn't sound right anymore. It's as if somebody listened to a Don't Copyright Strike Me version of the soundtrack on YouTube, then based the remaster on that. It sounds off in ways I couldn't even begin to describe to the uninitiated individuals outside of some kind of concert band or above. And the new coat of paint was nice, but that's really all I got on that. It's still nice. I can't hit that. It looked really good, except Coco. Now, onto the actual gameplay. Why the fuck is this so fucking hard? These controls are what the fuck levels of trash. Everything doesn't feel right. This was supposed to be fun, but I almost put a hole through my TV. Everything feels way more sensitive than it should. And whenever I tried to justify it in my mind as to why it was, I couldn't, and that just made it worse. If I jumped, I would overshoot. The D-pad made it worse. Analog sticks were horrible to begin with, and I don't remember playing this game on analog sticks, so I just kind of stuck with D-pad. It really took me out of the whole thing. I was never really slowed down back in the day by any obstacle. But now, if there's a floating platform, you better stop, assess the scene, call your insurance agency, then attempt the jump, and overshoot it. Again. This is not what I remember. This is actually hard now. If you're new to the Crash franchise, eat your fucking heart out. This is going to be a bad time. And for some reason, the basic spin attack felt as though the hitbox had been reduced to basically point blank or nothing stipulation. You have to be right on top of them to hit anything. I don't know why that changed. I'm about to hit up Zero Lenny and ask him to do a Crash Bandicoot experience. No difficulty modifiers. It just has to be the remaster. But okay, rant's over. Moving on. The game's as good as I remember it, minus the fact that it's frustratingly difficult now. I would say that if you're new to the franchise, pick it up. It's definitely worth checking out. And if you're a returning veteran, why not treat yourself to a piping hot ass beating? I know it seems like I ripped on this the whole time, because I did, but it was still an amazing game. I find it a lot easier to say the negatives in something than the positives, because the positives are already there to be seen. They're implied very heavily. You can look at some of the things that they've done in the past with all the trailers and say, oh, well, this is what they did. You can hear the music and you'll know if you're into that, then you're happy with it. And if you're not, then just move on. The graphics were obviously way better. You could see that in the trailer. Nobody expected it to be so hard, but I've seen that all over Twitter for the last couple days. It's a lot harder than people remember it. And I played this very recently, so I know that this is not right, but whatever. Still a really, really good game. It's like if you wanted to play Sony's equivalent of Mario, because this was basically their competitor to Mario 64, which definitely did not work out, but they tried valiantly. Now, they kind of strayed their path after Crash 3. Crash Team Racing was good. Crash Bash was questionable. Wrath of Cortex was That was the steady decline. So this was the perfect collection. If they had Crash Team Racing, you would be set. As I said before, would definitely recommend going to go get. It's cheap, it's hard, but it's fun and it's rewarding. And there's plenty of stuff to do now that there's time trials on everything. You get the running boots in the end of 3 and you just go as fast as you can. And at the end credits, if you're really good, you'll be in them. Because now they've updated that where if you're good at the time trials, it'll upload your highest score to the end credits if you beat the last person's best score. So that's pretty cool because you're immortalized in the game. Hot Cocoa, one of the secret levels where Coco's on that little jet ski thing, God forbid I ever have to make a fucking foray back into that level, is already down to 12 seconds, so have fun beating that one. But whatever. This game, as I said, gets my vote. Thanks for listening to me bitch about it. But at the same time, trying and making a valiant attempt of reviewing it without complete and utter bias on either end. Thanks for tuning in to Ham Hub. I apologize for my lack of videos, and I'll be fixing that with time. I'll see you guys later.